Am I the asshole for not immediately visiting my boyfriend in hospital after a fight? I have been with my boyfriend Liam for 2 years. Generally, we're in a very happy relationship and we barely ever disagree on important matters. Meaning that in those 2 years, I can't remember even one significant fight. That was until a few days ago. I barely even remember what it was that we were arguing about. But it escalated, and at one point, we were both speaking with raised voices. Not quite screaming, but close enough. The one thing I remember very clearly is how he told me to get out before he did something he'd regret. I don't think he was genuinely going to hurt me. But in that moment, those words did something to me and I just grabbed my phone and took off. I called my best friend Daisy, who was kind enough to come pick me up and took me to her flat. She told me that maybe spending the night away from each other wasn't the worst idea, to give both of us time to think about what had happened, and advised me to not make any decisions in the heat of the moment. I texted Liam to please not worry, that I was safe with Daisy and would be spending the night at hers. I asked him to please give me some time to think, but said that I'd be ready to talk the next day and that I loved him. I turned off my phone without waiting for an answer, and the rest of the night was relatively uneventful, with me nodding off on the couch at some point. The next morning, I woke up and turned on my phone to be faced with missed calls and messages from Liam, his best friend, and his brother. Apparently, after my message, he had taken off after me and had run a red light, resulting him to collide with another car. Luckily, both my boyfriend and the other driver got away with concussions and a few bruises. After I had read those messages, Daisy took me to the hospital and I went to check on Liam, who was doing all right considering the circumstances. We had a bit of admittedly tense small talk, and then, seemingly out of the blue, he told me that none of this would have happened if I had just acted like an adult. Let's say our conversation didn't get less tense from this point on. Daisy tried to tell me that it wasn't my fault, as I couldn't have known he was going to follow me. And Liam's brother agreed with her and tried to console me. It's my boyfriend and his best friend who have been telling me that running away was an move, and that I was immature for turning off my phone and blocking him out, causing him to go after me and get into the accident. Edit spelling. Not the asshole. He literally told you to leave in an arguably threatening manner. To boot, you did, and asked him for space. He then made the choice to pursue contradicting what he told you to do and failing to respect your need for space for the night, and to break the law while doing so. Now he's trying to put the fault for his choices on you? Yeah. No. He's completely the asshole. Not the asshole. Liam's behavior towards you is abusive, blaming you for the accident instead of taking responsibility and admitting he was too angry to drive is the height of controlling and abusive behavior. Also, don't underestimate threats of violence. Generally, when people threaten violence, they mean it. You had a fight with your BF. Is escalated to where he told you to leave. You left. You told him you were safe. You would be ready to talk to him the next day. He is the one you pursued you while in an emotionally charged state. He ran the red light. This is on him and not you. The fact that is trying to blame you after the fact indicates he does not like to take responsibility for his own actions. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Liam basically threatened your life. You didn't know he would get into an accident. Also, the fact that he was going after you kind of alarms me, tbh. Get out of this relationship. He has already warned you about who he is and will do. Not the asshole. He asked you to get out and then he said running away? He had run a red light and now he's blaming you for his accident? He's the one who's immature here. And his behavior is childish and ridiculous. Yes. It's a red flag. The only behavior you can be responsible for is your own. Telling you it's all your fault is a self-serving, childish lie and the kind of thing abusers tell their victims. Maybe he's not an abuser, but his behavior sends those signals. Do not be an asshole to yourself and ignore this. Not the asshole. By the age of 28, most men have outgrown that sort of idiotic, childish, and irresponsible behavior. Your BF needs to grow up and stop blaming everybody else for his bad choices. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You told him you were safe, then blocked him so you could have the space and time you needed to think. Just like you had already told him you needed. Him doing the stupid chase thing was his choice and the consequences are not your fault. Not the asshole. H threatened you. He told me to get out before he did something he'd regret. Then he's blaming you because he was a reckless driver? 2 years or 2 months together, this is still a major red flag. Not the asshole. You were literally doing what he told you to do. 1 minute he's telling you to get out before he did something he'd regret. Location flag, location flag, location flag. And now he's mad at you for running away? He sounds unstable at best. I hope you're realizing that Liam is bad news. Not the asshole. You were threatened and made the smart move by leaving. You're not responsible for him chasing after you. And you're not responsible for him driving recklessly. Domestic abuse is extremely serious. Even if he wasn't going to do anything, and you don't really know if that's true or not, the fact that he threatened you is still abuse. You didn't run away, you were told to leave. Not the asshole. Red flags, many red flags. Location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag. He threatened you. You quite properly went to a safe place. He then drove recklessly and got hurt. And then had the stones to try to blame you. You need to entirely disengage with him and get as far away from this relationship as you can. Please keep yourself safe. This man will hurt you if you don't leave. You are not the asshole. You are in danger. Please get away. Not the asshole. You aren't responsible for him. Period. There were some serious fights during my marriage. Not many, but there have been. It's married life. Moving away before the situation escalates is often the best solution. The quarrel stops and the 2 parties have time to diffuse. You did the best thing. And then your boyfriend told you to. Blaming yourself for the incident is wrong. And it looks like you guys will have a lot to talk about in the near future. Not the asshole. Boy, run the next time. He might beat you, so that you can't run. Not the asshole. So what's happening here is your boyfriend threatened you get out before he did something he would regret. You left to a safe place and let him know you were safe when you got there. He, in the same rage where he threatened you, got into his car to follow you, ran a red light and is now placing the blame on you. Darling, this is not a healthy relationship. Leave before his threats become reality. Not the asshole, and frankly his behavior is super concerning. His original threat, and then his completely irrational behavior to chase you to the point he's driving recklessly and causing an accident, then blaming you? This went from a fight to him showing very concerning abusive behavior. The one thing I remember very clearly is how he told me to get out before he did something he'd regret. When people show you who they are, believe them. Why are you with him? He followed you in blind rage to hurt you, possibly kill you. You need to get your stuff while he's still in the hospital and get away. Not the asshole for anything. You're the asshole to yourself if you stay. Not the asshole.